Testing. Father God, thank you for this morning. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Numbers 22, verse 41. So it was the next day that Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, that from there he might observe the extent of the people. Then Balaam said to Balak, build 7 altars for me here, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. Chapter 23. And Balak did just as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I will tell you. So he went to the desolate height, and God met Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared for the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram. Then the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak. So he returned to him, and there he was, standing by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his oracle and said, Balak the king of Moab has brought me out of Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come, denounce Israel. How shall I curse whom God has not cursed? And how shall I denounce whom the Lord has not denounced? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. There a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of a righteous man. Let my end be like his. Then Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have blessed them bountifully. So he answered and said, Must I not take heed to speak what the Lord has put in my mouth? Then Balaam said to him, Please come with me to another place from which you may see them, and you shall see only the outer part of them, and you shall not see them all. Curse them from me from there. So he brought him up to the field of Sovim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering while I meet the Lord over there. Then the Lord met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go back to Balak, and thus you shall speak. So he came to him, and that he was standing by and there he was, standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab were with him. And Balak said to him, What has the Lord spoken? Then he took up his oracle and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. He has said, and he will not do. Has he said and he will not do? Or has he spoken and will not he not make it good? Behold, I have received the command to bless. He has blessed, I cannot reverse it. He has not observed iniquity in Jacob, nor has he seen wickedness in Israel. The Lord his God is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. God brings him out of Egypt. He has strength like a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor any divination against Israel. It now must be said of Jacob and of Israel, oh, what God has done. Look, a people rises like a lioness and lifts itself up like a lion, and it shall not lie down until it devours the prey and drinks the blood of the slain. Then Balak said to Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. So Balaam answered and said to Balak, did I not tell you, saying, all that the Lord speaks that I must do? Then Balak said to Balaam, please come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please God that you may curse them from me from there. So Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor that overlooks the wasteland. Then Balaam said to Balak, behold, build me here 7 altars and prepare for me 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam has said, and offered a bull and a ram on every altar. Now when Balaam saw it was pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he did not go as the other times to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face towards the wilderness. And Balaam raised his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him. Then he took up his oracle and said, the utterance of Balaam the son of Beor, the utterance of a man whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of Almighty, who falls down with your eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel, like valleys that stretch out, like gardens by the riverside, like aloes planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the waters. He shall pour water from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his sons shall be exalted. God brings him out of Egypt. He has strength like a wild ox. He shall consume the nations, his enemies. He shall break their bones and pierce them with his arrows. He bows down, he lies down as a lion, and as a lion, who shall rouse him? Blesses he who blesses you, and curses he who curses you. Then Balak's anger was aroused against Balaam, and he struck his hand together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have bountifully blessed them these 3 times. Now therefore flee to your place. I said I would greatly honor you, but in fact the Lord has kept you back from honor. So Balaam said to Balak, did I not also speak to your messengers, whom you sent to me, saying, if Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord, to do good or to do bad, in my own will. With the Lord, what the Lord says, I must speak, And now indeed I am going to my people. Come, I will advise you what this people will do to your people in the latter days. So he took up his oracle and said, the utterance of Balaam the son of Beor, an utterance of the man whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of God, and has the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. I, a star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and batter the brow of Moab, and destroy all the sons of tumult. And Edom shall be a possession, Seir also. His enemies shall be a possession, while Israel does valiantly. Out of Jacob one shall have dominion, and destroy the remains of the city. Then he looked at Amalek, and he took up his oracle and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but shall be last until he perishes. Then he looked at the Kenites, and he took up his oracle and said, firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set on the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned. How long until Asher carries you away captive? Then he took up his oracle and said, alas, who shall live when God does this? But ships shall come from the coast of Cyprus, and they shall afflict Asher and afflict Eber, and so shall Amalek until he perishes. So Balaam rose and departed and returned to his place. Balak also went his way. Chapter 25. Now Israel remained in Acacia Grove, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel was joined to Baal in Peor, and the anger of the Lord was aroused against Israel. Then the Lord said to Moses, take all the leaders of the people and hang the offenders before the Lord out in the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel. So Moses said to the judges of Israel, every one of you kill his men who were joined to Baal in Peor. And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brethren a Midianite woman, and in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation and the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Now when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the men of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel, and those who died in the plague were 24,000. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was zealous with my zeal among them, and that I did not consume the children of Israel in my zeal. Therefore, say, behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, And it shall be to him and his descendants after his covenant of the everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for God and made atonement for the children of Israel. Now the name of the Israelite who was killed with a Midianite woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a leader of the father's house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of the father's house of Midian. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, harass the Midianites and attack them, for they harassed you with their scheme by which they seduced you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peor. Chapter 26, Numbers chapter 26. And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke to Moses and Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, all who are able to go to war in Israel. So Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho, saying, take a census of the people from 20 years and older and above, just as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt. Reuben was the firstborn of Israel. The children of Reuben were Hanok, the family of the Hanokites, and Palu, the family of the Paluites, or of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites. Those who were numbered on them were 43,000. Those who were numbered in them were 43,730. And the son of Palu was Elab, and the sons of Eliab. And the sons of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Danan and Abiram, representatives of the congregation, who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah when they contended against the Lord. And the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, and what that company died. And when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Nevertheless, the children of Korah did not die. The sons of Simeon, according to their families, were Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, and Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, and Jachin, the family of the Jachinites, and Zerah, the family of the Zarites, and Shoal, the family of the Shalites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The sons of Gad, according to their families, were of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the family of the Haggites, of Shuni, the family of the Shunites, of Ozni, the family of the Oznites, of Eri, the family of the Erites, of Arad, the family of the Aradites, of Areli, the family of the Aralites. These are the families of the sons of Gad, according to those who were numbered of them, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan, and and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah, according to their families, were of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites; of Perez, the family of the Parzites; of Zerah, the family of the Zerites; and the sons of Perez were Hezron, the family of the Hezronites; of Hamul, the family of the Hamalites. There are the families of Judah according to those who were numbered by them, 76,500. The sons of Issachar according to their families were of Tola, the family of the Tolalites; of Pua, the family of the Punites; of Jeshub, the family of the Jeshubites; of Shimron, the family of the Shimerites. And these are the families of Issachar according to those who were numbered by them, 64,300. The sons of Zebulun according to their family were of Zered, the family of the Zardites; of Elon, the family of the Elonites; of Jalil, the family of the Jalielites. These are the families of the Zebulunites, according to those who were numbered of them, 60,500. The sons of Joseph, according to their families, by Manasseh and Ephraim, were the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites; of Machir begot Gilead; of Gilead, the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead: of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites; of Helek, the family of the Helekites; of Azriel, the family of the Azrielites; of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites; of Shemida, the family of the Shemidites; of Hefer, the family of the Heferites. Now, Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zephalah were Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those who were numbered of them were 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim according to their families: of Shuthalab, the son of the Shuthalites; of Becher, the family of the Bachrites; of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthalah; of Eran, the family of the Eranites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim according to those who were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their families. The sons of Benjamin according to their families were of Bela, the family of the Baalites; of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites; of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites; of Shupham, the family of the Shuphamites; of Hupham, the family of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman; of Ard, the family of the Ardites; of Naaman, the family of the Naamites; These are the sons of Benjamin according to their families, and those who were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan according to their families, of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan according to their families. All the families of the Shuhamites according to those who were numbered of them were 64,400. The sons of Asher according to their families were of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites, of Jesui, the family of the Jesuites, of Beriah, the family of the Berites, of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites, and the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families and sons of Asher according to those who were numbered of them, 53,400. The sons of Naphtali according to their families were Jaziel, the family of the Jazreelites, and Guni, the family of the Gunites, and Jazer, the family of the Jazerites, and Shillem, the family of the Shillemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and those who were numbered of them were 45,400. These are those these are those who were numbered of the children of Israel, 601,730. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, to these the land shall be delivered as an inheritance, according to the number of the names. To a large tribe you shall give a larger inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a smaller inheritance. Each shall be given its inheritance according to those who were numbered of them. But the land shall be divided by lot. They shall inherit according to the name of the tribes of their fathers, and according to the lot their inheritance shall be divided between the larger and the smaller. And when those are and when these are those who were numbered of the Levites according to the families of Gershon, the family of Gershonites, of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites, of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the families of the Levites, the family of Libnites, the family of Hebronites, the family of Malites, the family of Mushiites, the family of Korathites, and Korah and Kohath, and the family of the Kohathites. And Kohath begot Amram, and the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt, and to Amram she bore Aaron and Moses, and their sister Miriam. To Aaron were born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. Nadab and Abihu died when they offered profane fire before the Lord. Now those who were numbered of them were 23,000, every male from a month up old and above. 23,000. For they were not numbered among the other children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. These are those who were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priests, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab in the Jordan, across from Jericho. But among these there was not a man of those who were not numbered by Moses and Aaron the priests when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord has said to them, they shall surely die in the wilderness. So there was not left a man of them, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. Numbers chapter 27. Then came the daughters of the Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, from the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these were the names of his daughters: Mala, Noad, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, before Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders of all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of meeting, saying, our father died in the wilderness, but he was not in the company of those who gathered together against Israel, in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his family because he had no sons? Give us a possession among our father's brothers. So Moses brought their case before the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, the daughters of Zelophehad speak what is right. You shall surely give them a possession of inheritance amongst their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, if a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. If he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brother. If he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father had no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the relative closest to him in his family, and he shall possess it. It shall be to the children of Israel a statute of judgment, just as the Lord commanded Moses. Now the Lord said to Moses, go up to this Mount Abarim and see the land which I have given the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people. And Aaron your brother was gathered. For in the wilderness of Zin, therefore, during the strike of the congregation, you rebelled against my command to hallow me to the waters before your eyes. Then Moses spoke to the Lord, saying, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, who may go out and before them and go in before them, who may lead them out of and bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord may not be like sheep, but also have no shepherd. And the Lord said to Moses, take Joshua, the son of Nun, with you, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand on him. Set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation, and inaugurate him in their sight. And you shall give some of your authority to him, that all the congregation of Israel may be obedient. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before the Lord for him by judgment of the Urim, and his word they shall go out, and at his word they shall come in, and he and the children of Israel with him, all the congregation. So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and set him before the Eleazar the priest and before the congregation, and he laid his hands on him and inaugurated him, just as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses. chapter 28. Numbers chapter 28. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel and say to them, My offering, my food for my offerings made by fire as a sweet aroma to me, you shall be careful to offer to me at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire which you shall offer to the Lord. 2 male lambs in the first year without blemish, day by day, as a regular burnt offering. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer in the evening. And 1/10 of the ephah of the fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of the hin or pressed oil. It is a regular burnt offering, which you look around and you've been blessed. It is a regular burnt offering which was ordained on Mount Sinai for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin of each lamb. In a holy place you shall pour out the drink of the Lord as an offering. The other lamb you shall offer in the evening. It's the morning grain offering and its drink offering. You shall offer it as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs in their first year, without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil with its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, besides the regular burnt offering which with its drink offering. Verse 11. At the beginnings of your months you shall present a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in the first year, without blemish, 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for each bull. 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb, as a burnt offering of sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Their drink offering shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin of a ram, 1/4 of a hin of a ram for the lamb. This is the burnt offering for each month throughout the months of the year. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering for the Lord shall be offered. Bodies in regular burnt, also 1 kid and the goats as a sin offering to the Lord shall be offered, beside the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. Offerings at Passover. On the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Lord, and one of the 15th day is the feast. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall present an offering made by fire as a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year. Be sure they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah you shall offer for a bull, 2/10 for a ram, and you shall offer 1/10 for an ephah each of the 7 lambs. For each of the 7 lambs. Also, 1 goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offerings in the morning, which of the regular burnt offerings. Offerings shall be in this manner. In this manner you shall offer the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days, as a sweet aroma to the Lord. And they shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering, And on the seventh day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. Also, on the day of the first fruits, when you bring the new grain offering to the Lord at your first feast of weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. Each shall present a burnt offering and a sweet aroma. I would say, you shall present a burnt offering of sweet aroma to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, with their grain offering of fine flour with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for each ram, and 1/10 for each 7 lambs. Also, 1 kid of the goats to make atonement for you. Be sure they are without blemish. You shall present them with their drink offerings, besides the regular burnt offering with its grain offering. And in the 7th month of the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no work, no customary work. For you it is a day of blowing the trumpets. You shall offer a burnt offering as a sweet aroma to the Lord, 1 bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in the first year, without blemish. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also, one kid of the goats as a sin offering to make atonement for you, besides the burnt offering with its grain offering from the new moon, or regular burnt offering with its grain offering, a man and their drink offerings according to their ordinance, as a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to God. On the 10th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work. You shall present a burnt offering to the Lord as a sweet aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs. Chapter 29. And in the 7th month of the first day of the month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, for it is a day of blowing the trumpets, and you shall offer a burnt offering as a sweet aroma to the Lord, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, without blemish. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 of a ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, to make atonement for you, besides the burnt offering among with its grain offering on the new moon, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings according to their ordinance, as a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Verse 7, 29:7. On the 10th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall afflict your souls, and you shall not do any work. Then you will present a burnt offering to the Lord as a sweet aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs for the first year. Be sure that they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, and 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1 tenth for each of the 7 lambs. Also the kid goats as a sin offering, besides the sin offer with his grain offering and their drink offering. On the 15th day of the 7th month, on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall keep a feast to the Lord 7 days. You shall present the burnt offering, an offering made by fire as a sweet aroma to the Lord. 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year. They shall be without blemish. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. Also, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the second day, present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, in their first year without blemish, and their grain of offerings and drink. The second day, present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 kid of the goats of the offering, besides a regular burnt offering, with his grain offering and their drink offerings. On the third day, present 11 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs, and their On the third day, present 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs, in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, or for the rams and for the lambs, by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the fourth day, present 10 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by the number according to the ordinance. Also 1 kid of goats as a sin offering, beside the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the fifth day, present 9 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, as their grain offering, and their grain offering, and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, for their numbers according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and a drink offering. On the sixth day, present 8 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, the rams, and for the lambs, by their numbers according to the ordinance. Also take one of those goats. They don't trust each other. And their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their numbers according to their ordinance. Also one as a sin offering, beside the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the seventh day, present 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, by their number according to their ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the eighth day, you shall have a sacred assembly. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, as a sweet aroma to the Lord. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bull, for the ram and for the lambs by the number according to their ordinance. Also, one goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. These you shall present to the Lord, your appointed feasts, which beside you vowed besides you vowed offerings and of free will offerings, as your burnt offerings and your grain offerings, as your drink offering and your peace offerings. So Moses told the children of Israel everything just as the Lord commanded. Chapter 30. Then Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. When a man makes a vow to the Lord, or swears an oath to the Lord, he or swears an oath to excuse me. Then Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is a thing which the Lord has commanded. If a man makes a vow to the Lord and swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all the proceeds out of his mouth. Or if a woman makes a vow to the Lord and binds herself by some great agreement, why while in her father's house in her youth, and her father bears how the government, if you guys or the father makes a vow to the Lord and binds herself by some agreement while in her father's house in her youth, and her father hears her vow and the agreement by which she has been bound and has bound herself, and her father holds his peace, then all the vows shall stand, and every agreement which with she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father overrules her on the day he hears, then none of her vows nor make her agreements by which she has bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will release her because her father overruled her. If indeed it takes 100, it takes if indeed she takes a husband while bound by her vows or by a rash utterance from her lips by which she bound herself, and her husband hears it and makes no response to her on the day that he hears it, then he is then her vows still stand, and her agreements by which she bound herself still stand. But if her husband overrules her on the day that he hears it, he shall make void her vow what she took and what she uttered with her lips by which she bound herself, and the Lord will release her. Also, any vow of a widow or a divorced woman by which she has herself and stand against her. If she vowed in her husband's house or bound herself by an agreement with an oath, and her husband hear it, and made no response to her and did not overrule her, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband truly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatever proceed from her lips concerning her vows or concerning her agreement that binding is biting made them void, then the Lord will release her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict her soul, her husband may confirm it, or her husband may make it void. Now, if her husband makes no response whatever to her from day to day, then he confirms her. He customarily has to. Now, if her husband makes no response whatever to her from day to day, then he confirms that all her vows and agreements that bind her. He confirms them because he made no response to her on the day that he heard them. But if he does make them void after he has geared them, it will be bad. These are my statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife, and between a father and his daughter, and her youth in her father's house. Amen.